Maybe you going on this self-discovery tour, your hot girl summer, made you realize at the end of the day,
right,
what you really wanted. Hey guys, what's up? It's another episode of The Fire Chronicles. And I'm just gonna, well, first of all, Sydney, you wanna say hey to everybody?
Hello, everybody.
So, I don't know where to start, but I was on Instagram earlier, and now that I recently started following Britney Spears again, I find myself wondering what's she up to. Because I don't get her in my regular feed. I think because I don't like her post or comment, because I just stare at them blankly, so confused.
I get a lot of them in my feed, so that must be a you thing.
It must be.
Every time I'm scrolling through, I see at least 3 posts from her.
Really? So this is I feel like one of the biggest mysteries ever, and I'm trying to crack this code. Because we know that she has Crowdsurfing is the company that runs her Instagram.
Yeah.
But what we don't know is, or what I don't know is she making videos and just sending them to them? Is she dropping things somewhere? You know what I mean?
Like just posting drafts and then they
choose. And then they pick what they want to. Are they meshing things together?
Right.
Because her video where she talks about getting an iPad, her first iPad ever. She's so excited. She's talking like this, and it's really bizarre. And she's like, I got my first iPad.
Yeah, that one was a little bit concerning.
So, was she never allowed to buy one? This is what I don't understand.
That's what everybody in the comments was saying. She has all this money and she was never allowed to have... She was saying her kids had an iPad, but she never did.
And why wouldn't she be allowed to have an iPad? First of all, she's like, I've always had a small phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Does she have the original iPhone?
Yeah.
Has she seen that there's different ones? Has she ever walked into an Apple store?
Yeah.
How deep does this go?
And then it makes you wonder, what does she have access to on her phone? If she can't even get an iPad, is
what's
because they
the
want to
difference?
control what she sees?
I don't get it. Literally, what's
Super
the difference?
Weird. Yeah.
It's so weird. And then the ending of that video, where you don't see her head, it's only her body.
Yeah.
And she's clicking her heels like she's Dorothy, and she's like, would I be able to do this if I was drunk? What? First of all, one thing had nothing to do with the iPad, so that's why I'm like, does Crowdsurfing want us to see that there's a reason that this conservatorship is in place, you know? Or are they trying to make her look crazy? You know, how much does Jamie Spears have to do with this? Does he control what actually gets posts? You know?
Yeah.
I feel like we need to dig deeper into this.
Yeah. Keep paying attention.
But I understand. So I'm still on the Free Britney movement.
Yes.
Okay, I still think that her dad should not be controlling anything, or
Which I
anybody
believe
in her
that
family.
Something just happened where I don't think he is in control anymore, or they're making
Well, she
sure.
filed since
Yes.
she was able to hire her own lawyer.
Yeah.
And that's what I messed up from before when she had that court hearing, and I was like, how can this judge not have removed her dad?
Yeah.
It's because she had to file this motion, which she did just recently. So hopefully things are in place to where that changes. But I'm still so confused because I hear stories about, people who worked with her on her Las Vegas show, which was not that long ago.
Yeah.
And they said she was totally normal and coherent, and she's the one that choreographed all the dances, and she was working her butt off all the time.
Yeah.
But then you see these videos that are direct from her, and you wonder, okay, how many medications do they have her on? Is this a part of it at all?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That has to be it, I feel like.
It's all super confusing. I don't know if we'll ever hear the full story, but maybe as time goes on we'll get more glimpse. Did you see the pictures that she posted of her yard? Because I'm so curious what her house looks
all
like.
The flowers and then the random car.
Right, that's
yes,
another
I did
post
see
that made
morning.
no sense. So she's like, hey guys, I never show you my yard or anything, my house. And in her post she's like, I'm kind of humble that my house is nice, but actually it's pretty spectacular.
Yeah. And is that even her house? Because the pictures look so stock photos or something,
right?
Or an artist made them with graphics.
It did not, from what I've seen her posts before, where she'll do her sped up workout videos in the backyard.
Yeah.
And the inside of her house and the windows does not match these photos that she posted on the exterior.
Yeah.
Because the photos were gorgeous. The home's covered in ivy.
Yeah.
And it looks like a neoclassical home,
Yeah.
but her inside pictures look like it's a newer home. It's got these big columns and these big travertine tiles and like, I don't know, something that was built like in the early 2000s. So I'm very confused. So she's posting these beautiful pictures.
Right.
Not really showing her yard, but showing like the outside of her house. And on the end, her last two pictures are like,
Super edited.
yeah, they're not her pictures. It's not her yard. It's not even like it would be inspo for what she wants her yard to look like because she said she
Yeah.
wants to add a koi pond. So it's not like she posts a picture of, I want this kind of koi pond in my yard. It literally, and then again, I don't know if it's her doing this.
Yeah.
Or if crowd surfing's like, oh, let's post normal pictures. Crowd surfing is probably like, we can't actually let her post pictures of the outside of her house.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the internet sleuths would easily be able to find out which house is hers.
Yeah, that's
People would probably
true.
be trying to break into her house if they knew. You know, these hardcore Free Britney would be like, we're just going to go there and rescue
That's
her.
very true.
You
Good
know?
point.
So, anywho, maybe someday I would love, they're supposed to be bringing back MTV's Cribs. Do you remember that show?
Oh, heck yeah.
I heard they're bringing it back, and thank God. Like, I cannot. Can we all
Take us to
get
Britney's.
a petition? Yes. We need to see Britney's house. What's going on there? See where she does all her dancing videos.
Yeah.
I just need to see literally every inch.
Agreed.
Like
Okay.
her closet, all the shorts from 2003 that she won't throw away.
All of her super cropped, but like not in a good way shirts.
Yes,
With her
no.
low rise.
I don't understand it at
Yeah.
all.
It's like she's literally stuck in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
She hasn't seen the outside world since.
No. No, it's so bizarre. Okay. So, other than the weirdness that's going on with Britney, oh, wait, I wanted to tell you this freaking story because I'm so pissed off about it.
Oh, God.
So, you guys know I bought a house recently and it has a pool. Okay,
Right.
so I've been having the pool guys over literally once a week because the pool's turning green. I can't get this to work. I can't get that to work. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Okay. So when they came over the last time, I was like, how do I get these waterfalls to go on? Because there's two waterfalls on the edge of the pool. And like sometimes they randomly turn on. My nephew pushed the button one time and they came on. We haven't been able to get them back on. How do I put the lights on the pool? And he's like, well, there's a pool remote. And I'm like, I don't think the previous owners left that for me. They probably took it. Because if they could have taken the paint off the walls, they would have. But
Oh my
he's like,
gosh.
well, let me like Google and show you like what it looks like. So he shows me a picture, and instantly I remember the day I moved in, I found this random black box thing
no.
that with two like antennas on it. Literally did look like it was like 30 years old. But I didn't know what the heck it was. Now, I should have just Googled whatever I could find on this box, but I didn't. I sent a picture of it to my friend who's the contractor, and I was like, do you know what this is for? He's like, I have no idea, but it looks like it's 100 years old. I'm like, okay, should I just throw it away? I'm like the queen of throwing things away. I don't hold on to like anything. I go through my closets once a month. I go through my house once a month. I'm constantly
my.
donating stuff to the thrift store because I'm just purging all the time. And I'm like, now there's this thing, I don't know where it is. And he's like, yeah, throw it away.
Oh, God.
So don't you know that was the pool remote?
Girl, you gotta go to the junkyard. You gotta go find where the trash took
You think
that.
I'm going through the dumpster? So I text my friend all these crying emojis. Well, I said to him, I'm like, how much is a new remote? He's like $350. I'm like, I can't believe I just threw that away. Literally for no reason, just because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And I freaking put it in the trash. And my friend's like, I'll Venmo you $100. I'm like, I don't want any money from you. It was stupid on my part to
Yeah.
throw it away. So then they're like, we can order a new one for you. Like, they send me the estimate in the mail.
Right?
It's not $350. It's
$3,500.
$950. So I just wanted to tell you guys, okay, to learn from my mistakes. If you don't know what something is, like a cord, a plug, freaking whatever it is, just make a special box in your garage and throw all the crap in there. Don't throw it away like I did.
No.
I'm a freaking idiot. Now I have to buy a new one
No.
for $1,000 and I'm so mad.
Maybe it'll be upgraded now.
Yeah, it'll be better. This one did seem ancient, but I just felt like an idiot. Okay, so recently we posted on our story asking you guys to submit some questions that you wanted us to answer. So Sydney has some of those. If you're not already following us on Instagram, it's at the Fire Chronicles.
Right. The first question we have is, how do you tell a friend the guy she's going for isn't the one?
Oh man, this is really hard. This is a hard one. But I feel like you have to like flip it. So if there's situations where like he hasn't been treating her right, or if you have like examples for sure,
Yeah.
I would say to that person, like if it was you and me, Sydney,
Yeah.
and it was a guy that you were seeing and he, whatever he was doing wasn't right, and I knew he wasn't right for you, I would be like, what if I was dating a guy like that who wouldn't text me back, who canceled plans, who never made plans? I was always asking him to hang out. Or who, I mean, I wish we had specific examples on why they say they're not the one. Because I think if it's just like you don't like this dude, or maybe you just have a vibe, that can be kind of hard to express. Because what if your friend's like really into him and then you're just like, I just don't like this dude? I mean, I feel like you never want a guy to come in between you guys. But I feel like nowadays women know that we're literally looking out for each other. It's I feel like before it was men and society pinning us against each other, where if like two women didn't like each other, it was like, oh, she's jealous of you. And they always like played that card. But I don't feel like that's what it is right now. I feel like we've literally all come together and we want the best for each other genuinely.
Yeah.
And we have that women's intuition and we have stuff in our gut that we need to listen to. So I feel like if you have specific examples, if you've got a list, I would bring those up, be like, I just don't like how he does X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And if I was dating a guy that did that to me, what would you say to me?
Right.
What would your advice to me be?
Yeah.
You know? What do you think?
I definitely think you have to have like actual reasons not to like him. I feel like it's almost easy to not like one of your friends' boyfriends. Just because.
Why do you say that?
I just feel like if you guys are like best friends and like then suddenly some other guy is added to the equation, then it's just like
you become second fiddle.
Exactly.
I feel a lot of women are guilty of this. I have people in my life that are guilty of this,
or almost like not, or they're just jealous of the relationship in general. Like maybe.
Yeah, they wish that they had someone.
Yeah.
So you got to be sure if your friend, and I think you would know for the most part, if it's somebody who's just like jealous that now they don't get to spend as much time with you, like your besties, you always used to do everything together.
Right.
Now you got this new boyfriend in your life and you like left your friend in the dust, which by the way, don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
please.
Don't do that, because we all know, you know,
if it doesn't work out, then you're gonna be left with nobody. Then whose fault is that?
And at the end of the day, we know that freaking y'all are gonna remain friends probably for much, much longer. The friendship is gonna last way longer than this relationship.
Oh yeah.
But have your fun, do you? But don't be canceling plans with your friends over this dude and stuff like that, because then it can just like create a wedge or resentment or, you know. I mean, I think any true friend would be happy for you in your new relationship if it's a good guy.
Yeah.
If you have friends that are saying like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You gotta.
And if you know something that they don't know, like I definitely have evidence, or not like evidence of something, but like actual reasons, not just because you get a bad vibe, if you will.
Right.
Make sure there's an actual reason there
like
before you say anything.
Seen him flirting with other girls or talking to other girls, sliding in the DMs.
Exactly.
Like, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, because if you just go up and be like, well, I don't really like your boyfriend, but I don't know why, then you kind of look.
And start it off with, and ask yourself, like, am I really coming from a place where I want the best for Sydney? Or is it a little bit of it that, like, I'm jealous that we're not going to the movies every weekend? And if that's the case, tell your friend that too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm super happy for you in this new relationship.
Yeah.
But, like, I want to hang out with you too. You know? So then that way they don't just see it as, oh, well, you're like hating on this new dude because I am making plans with him, you know? And now you're like second fiddle.
Yep.
Okay,
our next question. As a female, when do you offer to pay? For example, like for the movies or dinner?
This is such a good question. Okay, because I struggle with this big time. Because, like, first date, I think that the man should always pay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Agreed on that.
Even maybe the first 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. I struggle with even like on the second date, if they're paying, it makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
I literally feel weird. But then I don't know, and I would like to hear, we might have to do a poll on like men's view on this.
Yeah.
And what they want. Because I wonder if that's varied or if most men are like, I want to pay in the beginning. Yeah. You know, so I'm always like tiptoeing, like I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to insult anybody, but this makes me super uncomfortable. Like you can pay for the first date. I feel like taking turns. Maybe the first 2 let them pay. By date 3, like I want to pay.
And if you're uncomfortable, always like offer and be like, well, can I like take care of the tip or something? And then if they take your money, then that's also a pretty good sign of.
Are you talking about date 1 if they take your money? Or what are we talking about? When are you
Anytime.
offering?
I mean, I'll probably, because I'm also uncomfortable with people just paying for everything. So on the first date, I'm going to offer to pay too. Okay. And then if they actually take me up on that offer, then I'm like,
you're like, no, sorry, buddy.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Word to the wise for the men out there.
Yes.
Even if we're offering, no, you better pay for the first date.
Yes.
Okay. And then I like your suggestion of, say the second date, you're like, let me get this one. And he's like, no, I like saying, let me get the tip. Mm-hmm. Or then just be like, okay, but next time it is on me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't think you should be like too pushy or anything. Like, no, I want to get this one. But
yeah.
And I think kind of take it as like how you would do it with your friends.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think so? Like it would be similar as the first date, you let them pay. The second, third, as you're going down the line, you're still getting to know each other. Mm-hmm. You know, you're still feeling each other out. Mm-hmm. You're not in a relationship or anything at that point. It's not like you're committed or exclusive. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, when you're going out with your friends and you have a friend who, like, treats you the first time, then you're like, no, it's my turn. Mm-hmm. You know, or no, like, I want to treat you now. So I'm in a Peloton singles group.
Right.
So you have to join this group because the material that is in this group, the dates that these people go on.
Yeah.
It's like unbelievable. But that was a question recently. And I'll have to go back and read some of the responses because now I'm super curious. But I think for the most part, I know what it was. Okay, so listen to this. This is what happened. It was a guy posting this. He had matched with this girl on Hinge and they had a date to go out.
Right.
And then she texted him and said, you know, I made reservations. I wanted to let you know that it's an expensive restaurant and I expect you to pay and I'm not going to ask you back to my place at the end of the night, so don't expect anything else.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm a little taken back because, okay, number one, I'm a gentleman. I would have paid regardless, but I find it weird that she chose and booked an expensive restaurant and then tells me it's expensive. Like, I feel like that's overstepping boundaries.
Oh, 100%.
Like, that's bizarre to me. Yeah. You know? So does she want to hang out with you or does she just want to go to a fancy restaurant?
Exactly.
You know? It shouldn't really matter where you're going.
Yeah, she's kind of showing her priorities right off the bat.
Yeah. And then he was like, our text exchanges have not been anything like talking about sex or anything dirty or nothing. Yeah. So he's like, I was never expecting any of that. Like, we haven't even been like crazy flirty. It's just been like, so he's like, I just don't know how to take this.
Yeah.
Everybody in the comment section was like, run. Do not go on this date.
Yeah.
Don't freaking do it.
I would agree with that.
Right. So I'm pretty sure he canceled it.
Okay, good.
But don't do what that chick did either. Like, that's just bizarre. And I don't even think you need to have a discussion beforehand. Like, listen, don't expect anything after this date or don't like what. It's just weird to bring that up. I don't think anybody assumes anything.
Right.
So to say it before you even like met them in person, it just creates like this weirdness.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly. Our next question is, somebody's asking for advice for how to go about the dating world if you're not really ready for anything serious.
Okay, I like this question.
Mm-hmm. I do like this too.
I feel like there are lots of other people in your same situation.
Oh yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, not everybody is looking for something serious. Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely feel like there are people out there who are like still laser focused on what are you looking for? I want a relationship. I want to get married. I want to have kids, and that's a discussion for another podcast. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like at the end of the day, you should your first priority should just be finding somebody that you like hanging out with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's hard enough as it is,
right.
You know, instead of creating this mountain that you have to climb where it's got to be the next guy you date is got to be somebody that you're going to marry. And like, no, just let's start small here, guys, and just find somebody. So if you're just like looking for something, is that what she said? She just wants something casual. She doesn't want anything serious.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like put that right in your bio, you know, or when you match with people, let them know, like, I don't want anything serious right now. I just want to find somebody I like to hang out with and do things with. But see, I feel like it's even funny that she's asking that because she probably comes from a mindset where most women, and I don't want to generalize, I feel like it's becoming, we're breaking all these stereotypes and all these stupid barriers of timelines and ages when you have to do things by, and the person you date has to be the person you're going to end up with. Like, no, why? Yeah. If you meet somebody and you like hanging out with them for a month, for 6 months, for a year, whatever it was.
As long as you're honest about it, about what your intentions are.
Right. Yeah, don't lead anybody on. You guys want to be like on the same page. But no, I say get out there, date, have fun. It sounds like that's what she wants to do. And you just let the other person know that, and then they can decide what they want to do with that information.
And then the next question is it worth pursuing a relationship when you know they want kids and you don't?
Oh my gosh, this is a good one too. Okay. All right. So I feel like I've had some recent experience with this. And actually, it's good because you guys are going to, in a little bit, you're going to hear our second half of the interview with Svetlana. And I feel like she's going through something similar. That is a really, really tough one because I feel like, you know, I've been discussing this with people lately, and I feel like people are kind of divided. Like they say, oh, you think you don't want kids now, but once you meet the right person, then you will want that. But is that true? Is that really what you wanted? You know, I feel like, and you could change your mind throughout the different stages that you're in life, but I don't think that, I feel like you would be doing it for that person.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be doing it for yourself.
Kids, don't do that to the kids, I feel like.
No. Yeah, I don't think you should ever have kids because the person that you're in a relationship wants them when you don't.
Agreed.
So I think you should take the other person out of the equation. Like I have friends of mine who want children who aren't in a relationship and they envision adopting when they're ready. And it's not about the other person. It's not about, you know, the relationship status, being married. It's just, I love children. I want kids. I'm going to make that happen for myself, whether there's a significant other there or not, you know? So that's what I think at the end of the day, because relationships come and go. Relationships fall apart. People get divorced. People break up.
Yep.
You will have the kids together forever. But if you think it's going to be you and this girl or you and this guy together forever, unfortunately, that doesn't happen a lot of times. So at the end of the day, you just have to want them for yourself.
Yeah.
All right, guys, but like I said, right now we're going to go into the second half of our interview with Svetlana and the hot girl summer that she's living. She has some more stories for you with hookups that she's been meeting on the apps. So enjoy that, and then I'll talk to you guys next week. All right, guys, we are back with Svetlana. Hopefully you already got caught up on episode 1. If not, stop what you're doing right now. Go back, listen to episode 1 so you can hear all of her hookups that led up to her swiping right on this couple on Tinder. But if you're caught up, she's here and we're ready to go. Okay, so it's summer. You're hooking up with a lot of dudes. You're on Tinder. Initially, you were just on Bumble and Hinge, right? Yes. What made you download Tinder? Just needed some
not really sure. Well, so I know Tinder. I mean, Tinder isn't just used for hookups, but I know it's easier to find hookups. So I was in New Jersey. I was on vacation, and me and my friend wanted to just wanted to like go grab a drink that night. So we're like, oh, let's just see if there's any guys in the area, you know, that want to just like come out and like have a drink with us, whatever. Right. So I'm swiping. I'm pretty much just like talking to different guys. I'm like, all right, first guy that says we'll come out. Okay, cool. Like, sure, that's what I'll do. Right. So I swiped right on a guy who did put in his profile that he was in a ENM, which is an ethically non-monogamous relationship. And he put in his profile, like, my wife sleeps with women, so she's letting me as well. Like, let's grab a drink tonight.
Okay.
So I swiped right on him. I was like, hey, like, me and my friend, want to hang out with tonight. I'm like, I'm single. My friend is married. I was like, and, I was like, you can bring your wife too. I mean, like, I don't care. We're really just like looking for someone to just have a drink with, that's local. Right. And long story short, he's like, yeah, absolutely. Here's my phone number. But like, FYI, my wife is busy. And so like, we were texting and we met at a local bar. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little awkward at first because I was like, I don't know, it just was. It's just knowing that this guy's married and, like he's in an open relationship. So pretty much we were there till last call. While we were sitting there like talking, like getting to know each other, he showed me a text from his wife that said, wanna watch. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, I don't know if I'm there yet.
Right.
Because, like, this is my first time, just, like,
hooking up with a married dude.
Yeah. Like, while his wife, like,
knows about
is in the house. My friend's like, okay, like, I'm going to go back to the house. Like, you two have fun. So I get into his truck and we go to his house. And he's like, do you want to meet my wife? Or he said, like, my wife wants to meet you. Okay. I mean, like, I'm going into her house. Like, I guess, like, they probably don't really have an option. I don't want to be a jerk.
Wow.
I don't want to be impolite.
Right.
Yeah. I'm screwing your husband, but I don't want to meet you. So we go into the kitchen and have a drink with his wife.
Oh my God.
Really don't remember what we talked about. I don't know if it was like small talk, like, so about this weather.
Right.
I don't remember. And then he like took my hand and took me up to his bedroom while she stayed in the living room downstairs, like, and laid on the couch. And
this is insanity.
Yeah. And we had a really good time. He was really good. Yeah. So afterwards, and again, I really don't know how long this whole session was, but afterwards we walked downstairs and he gave his wife a kiss on the lips and he took my hand and we walked out to his truck and he took me back to my vacation house.
Right.
And
wow.
Yeah. And like the next morning, what? Go ahead.
Didn't she text him when you guys were upstairs in the bedroom that she could hear you guys?
Yes, you're right. Yes, she said, I don't know, she said something like, I'm really turned on right now.
Right.
Or something along those lines because she could hear us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's so wild. Did you get into any discussions? Because my side of it would be like, I would want to ask a million questions of both of them.
Sure.
Sure. Did you get into any of that with them or not really?
With him, yeah, when we were out, because like I had said prior to this meeting, I was like, I have so many questions for you. But then I think once we did get there, my friend was doing a lot more talking, and I don't think I had asked him some of the stuff that I did want to ask him. I don't remember how long. I know his wife has brought home other girls. I don't think she has like an actual like a girlfriend or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's like, someone that she always hooks up with. I don't know if they're random girls that she hooks up with. Like, I don't know if she's also on Tinder or not.
How long have they been married?
I believe 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. And they do have a kid together. He wasn't home. He was at grandmom's house that night.
Lord. Okay.
Yeah. I was his first.
Thank God for grandma. What?
I was his first hookup.
Oh my God.
I was his first. She has had girls over. And I'm sure that's probably just because, again, it's like he's cute, like he's attractive.
Right.
I'm sure it's just because most girls don't want to hook up with a married guy that's in an open relationship.
Do you have a
they
picture
know
of him? I want to see it.
I don't anymore, and I deleted. I know, and I deleted Tinder.
So that ended. That was a one-time thing.
Yeah, that was a one-time thing.
Around here.
Yeah, like next morning. Next morning, we were both just like, that was really fun. Thanks a lot. He's like, if you're ever in the area again, hit me up. Whatever.
Right. So you don't find yourself getting emotionally attached to any of these guys that you're hooking up with? Because do you think you have a wall up that you don't want to right now? Or have you found yourself being like, I kind of like them?
Yeah, some of the guys. Yeah, for sure. Well, like I was like the one guy that I was talking about in the last episode that said like he didn't feel, the chemistry with me. Right. I was feeling him. Yeah, I mean, like the married guy, again, just like he was really cute and sweet. Like, I know nothing would ever come of that, but would I date him if you know, if he became single and I lived near him,
Right.
like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Like, I usually feel something after sleeping with someone, as long as like we have like as long as there's like a good vibe or whatever, you know what I mean? My next night of vacation, I was swiping on Tinder again. There was this guy that I matched with who like messaged me, you know, back right away. And we were just, we were just talking like right away, like started talking about like, you know, like hookups and like the kind of stuff we're into. I asked him, like if he had any kinks. I'm just very open. So like, you know, not all guys can find women to
you almost
want to
like liberate people. Like you're a sex therapist without the therapy and just the sex.
Yeah, that's
what you are. Yeah. And you don't charge people.
Even better, right?
Maybe you should.
Maybe
that might be illegal.
That's illegal.
Okay, don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not doing that.
Okay. So you say to him, what kind of weird stuff are you into?
Yeah, she's like, oh, like, you have any kinks? Pretty much.
Kinks.
All right. Kinks, yeah. And he's like, do you ever wear lingerie? I was like, yeah. I mean, I have. Yeah, and I was like, that's very tame.
That's not a kink.
I can do that.
But all right.
I put dildos in the guy's butt once.
Right. Hello.
Twice, actually. But anyway.
Did you see if he listened to episode 1?
Right.
Tell him he should. Okay.
I was like, oh, like, that's cool. I was like, but I don't have any. Like, I'm on vacation. Like, I didn't bring my lingerie with me.
Right.
I was like, I mean, you could buy me some lingerie. Like, I would certainly put that on, like, if that's what you're into. He's like, okay. He's like, cool. So, long story short, we're texting back and forth. We made plans. My friend dropped me off at his house.
Mm-hmm.
So, this guy's 30 years old. Had his own house. Had, like, an Escalade. And, I don't know, some other big-ass white truck in his driveway. House is gorgeous. And I'm like, what do you do for a living? Like, you know, you're 30 years old and this is all yours.
Right.
He's like, yeah. He's like, don't ask too many questions. So what the hell does that mean? Like, am I walking into like a mafia house?
Don't ask too many questions.
He's like, I do investments, I think is what he said. So yeah, obviously like strictly like I was there for a hookup. He had like mixed drinks for us. Like we just sat in his kitchen. He showed me his house. So yeah, eventually we went up to his bedroom and he had like the lingerie like laid on his bed. Which, like, again, like his house, the inside of his house is gorgeous as well. And it was stockings with a belt type thing, like where you clip the stockings onto, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And this was actually kind of intimate and like it kind of turned me on. Cause like I didn't really know how those clips worked. Like I tried to use them for it, and like I just don't know. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I know how these work. Not much else to say about that night. I mean, we hooked up. He's a really, really good kisser. Really good kisser. But
what's his number?
Oh, just kidding. Let me get it. And then I went to the bathroom to clean up or whatever. And after I washed my hands, he has a housekeeper like that comes once a week or whatever.
Okay.
So he had like fancy folded towels, like they look like hand towels, but they were like folded a certain way,
like in the shape of an elephant or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were hanging.
Okay.
There's like a fancy flip up, whatever.
Whatever.
So I unfolded it and used it to dry my hands. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, drying my hands on your hand towel that's hanging here next to your sink? Like, what do you think I'm doing?
Right.
And he's like, no, and like grabs a shitty ass towel like from underneath the sink. He's like use this. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. So whatever. I'm
She's like, Monica,
I was like, you're ridiculous.
Those are our fancy guest towels.
Right. Don't touch them.
I know we just had sex, but you cannot wipe your hands on my towel that's folded like a fan.
So stupid. But I just kind of laughed and I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, because again, I didn't care. I was like, that's so dumb. But
I would have taken that towel then and wiped my ass in front of him. Okay, how do you like me now?
And then like I feel like, granted, I had a few drinks.
Did you
so maybe
sleep over? Do you normally bounce?
So it depends. Depends on the situation. But I did bounce, and like that was known from the get-go. Like he was going to take me back to my vacation house.
Okay.
But I felt like, and again, I knew this wasn't going to go anywhere, but I felt like the like little amount of time that we spent after like hooking up was somewhat intimate. Like we were, I don't know, like we kind of clicked on some interests that we had together, and he was like surprised that I knew this band that he really liked, and like I knew a lot of the songs and whatever. And again, so I guess this is like kind of like where like the feelings like and like the connection, like the human connection come in, where again I knew this wasn't going to go anywhere and I didn't want it to go anywhere. So I mean, long story short, he took me home, and I hate to admit this, but I will because people are listening for it. But I got back to my vacation house and I sat outside because like my friend and whoever was inside sleeping, and I texted the guy from the night before, the married one.
Oh.
And I was like, hey, like, are you still up? And he texted me and he was like, he's like, I am actually. Like, I was like nodding off, but like I did just see this. Like, why? What's up? And I was pretty much just like, I just had like a one night stand, but like I wasn't really satisfied. Like I was just wondering, if you were, if you were still,
if you're available.
Yeah.
And was
to which this was like 12:30.
Okay.
So he's like, and I think maybe like because he has a son.
Yeah.
So I don't remember exactly how he worded. He's like, oh, like sorry you weren't satisfied or whatever. Like, maybe another time. I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, that's good. And then I was on Tinder swiping. I know nothing happened.
Stop.
Nothing happened. No, nothing happened. I was like, this is ridiculous. Svetlana, go the hell to bed.
But that's how it is
just too much to drink.
sometimes. Like when you were just frustrated because you were unsatisfied.
Yeah. So, but nothing else happened that night.
Yeah.
I went to bed. So then in the morning, I had texted the rich guy. I was like, hey, like, had a really good night or had a fun time last night, whatever. And I didn't get a response back.
Are your towels okay? Did you ask him about the towels? Because I'm worried.
Actually stole them.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Because he deserved it.
Right. And like he didn't text me back. And then I realized that I had left my hoodie there. Now by this time I was already like on my way home. I didn't really care. It wasn't like, and I didn't get a text back until I texted him later when I realized that I think like I left my hoodie there. And I asked him if I did.
Ew. Why didn't he respond to that
I don't
text
know.
from you?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was 9:30 in the morning.
So
like, right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm sure he was awake.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm bringing this up, because it's weird to me how some people can just totally like disconnect sex from like that human, I don't know, connection. You know what I mean? Like, again,
because
not
you were saying you guys laid in bed together and it felt
even
intimate
if it wasn't
to
that.
you.
I mean, just this. I mean, just sex. Is intimate.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just not even like a text back.
Right.
I mean, he did text me back when I was like, I think I left my hoodie at your place. Yeah, I was like, well, I'm like, you can just donate it or whatever, I guess. I'm like, I'm already home, and that was it. Just never didn't text me back again. And again, I'm not like hurt or upset. It's just more like it's weird to me.
Yeah, it's weird to me too.
Yeah. So
that's why I think the whole just hookup culture, one night stand, booty call thing fascinates me. Mm-hmm. Even though you're doing it too, it still fascinates you.
Yeah.
How some people are just like,
so
I never heard. Yeah. Okay, that chapter is closed.
Right.
It was just that night, and now it's done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I wonder too. Like, I wonder, am I just? Well, and I don't know how to phrase this. Like, am I just another notch in the belt? Meaning, like, oh, this was just like Saturday's chick, and then there was Sundays. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like these experiences I've had, like, I'm not going to forget them.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Not because
not
because there's feelings, not because I'm
right
in love or whatever.
Right. No.
So yeah, I wonder.
But they were still people to you.
And we had a good time.
Individuals, and they mattered.
It was like a fun experience,
Right. And you wonder if they were sitting here talking to me, what would they say?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if they're like, I don't remember that.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah.
Or,
right. Yeah. Which one was that again?
I mean? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, the one that used my towels.
Right.
I'm sure he doesn't forget you. You know what I mean? Well, I'm curious to see, since we've got maybe about 6 weeks left to summer here, as to what unfolds. Do you feel like you're still going at the same pace as you started this at? Still swiping as much? Oh, so it's already simmered down.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So,
because did it get old or what?
No. I met a guy who was I met a guy named Heath on Tinder, and he was local. Tinder said he was like a mile away or whatever.
Okay.
And we had matched, and it was just like innocent conversation, just crying out. I was like, hey neighbor,
Right.
And we had like pretty good like texting conversation, whatever. And I want to say this was like on a Friday, like 3 weeks ago. This was like on a Friday, and we were just like texting a little bit here and there, and we exchanged numbers, and like we made breakfast plans, and we were like texting, I think like the next night, kind of late, and he was like, hey, like, do you want to like push back the breakfast plans? Like you're still up and it's, you know,
Yeah.
we were going to meet at 8 a.m. or something.
Right.
I don't remember why it was so early, but he's like, do you want to push back plans or whatever? And he might deny this, but he's the one that like initiated it. He's like, well, because I told him how like hot my apartment can get. And he's like, well, you know, my AC's on and like my apartment's like, really cool or whatever. And one thing led to another, and he actually wound up coming to my apartment that night, and we hooked up, and Heath and I discovered that like he really wants like marriage and a kid like in like 2 to 3 years, and I was like 95% sure that I didn't even want kids, and like I've already been married, so like I'm definitely not in a rush to do any of that. So basically we just decided like, okay, like, well, why don't, because we're like literally 5 minutes away from each other,
right?
Like, why don't we just be friends with benefits? Like, we'll just keep hooking up, but we'll still be dating other people. Like, we're still like on the dating apps and stuff. And so that was happening for a little bit. Like we'd like talk to each other about like our dates and stuff. I mean, pretty much just like if it worked out, if like we're into the person or whatever. Meanwhile, we're having sex like every day. And then,
don't you think that he was like catching feelings?
Yes.
Because you knew he wanted a relationship and you were very upfront that you didn't.
Right. Yes. Well, so since, yes, because he had like asked me to be his girlfriend. I think after the first time we were together.
Tell me that.
Yeah. Well, he would like ask me every time we hung out.
Oh,
but half the time, like he's joking around. Like I know he is, because he knows that we have different things.
Nope. Because I believe that at the root of all joking is seriousness, but it's people who are afraid to say it in a serious way, or they're like, oh, let me act like I'm joking. Want to be my girlfriend? But you know, in a heartbeat, yeah, you know, in a heartbeat, if you were like, yes, you'd be like, awesome. He wouldn't be like, I was fucking kidding.
Right.
I don't want, no.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. Okay.
I do disagree with you though about the joking thing. About the joking thing. Because I make a lot of jokes that I absolutely don't mean. I'm just saying. Yes. Some of them can be mean. So we went to, for my birthday, because I didn't have any plans. And it's like, okay, like, it'd be cool to like go with a guy. That way, you know, whatever. So we went to the beach and I met up with that married guy again. No, I'm just kidding. So we went to the beach together and we're like kind of like acting like a couple. I'm like, we're like holding hands and like kissing and stuff. And yeah, definitely. So this is like 2 weeks after the fact, like after us meeting. And yeah, definitely catching feelings. But so like we spent like 2 whole days together, and then pretty much on the way home, or like before we left to go home, I don't know how it got brought up, but we're pretty much just like, should we stop seeing each other because we like each other? And do we know, like, we know it's not going to work out because you want babies like ASAP. And now that I don't know, I've been second guessing like what I actually do want in my future.
Okay.
And I talked to a couple of my girlfriends because I was like, is this just because I like this guy? Like, I don't want to alter my future and say, yeah, I want to have kids just because of some guy, because I have feelings for him.
You're changing your stance on kids?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder if, like, I was like 95%, but now I'm kind of like 50-50. Like, I think I would be happy with kids. Is it my like life goal? Like, I think I'd be fine without kids too, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So, like, I was talking to my girlfriends and I was like, does this mean like just because I really like this guy? And I'm like, oh, maybe I do want kids. And my one girlfriend who's like on the fence like me, she's like, no, like, Svetlana, like, I really think you just, like, maybe you really are considering, like, you know, you're obviously not 100% set in stone that you don't want kids. Pretty much where we're at, we're still sleeping together. So it's been 3 weeks. And yeah, I mean, I do still like him, and we still have talked about like possibly having a relationship, but it's not fair to him. You know, if I'm undecided and if we do become exclusive, you know, and 6 months from now, I'm like, yeah, I definitely don't want kids. You know, I mean, it's kind of a waste of 6 months, you know, of him trying to find someone that wants to mother his babies. Like, I don't know. But I had, after like my birthday time together, and I was a little heartbroken because like we were like talking about not seeing each other anymore. That's when I deleted the dating apps, because I'm like, I don't want to keep dealing like with heartbreak, you know. I mean, not that I dealt with a ton of it over the past 3 months, but yeah, that's when I was like, I'm gonna leave these apps. Like, I'm not. And I told a few of the guys like I was still kind of like talking to, you know, that I'm just like gonna put, you know, dating on the back burner for now. So probably not going to have any more juicy
the whole
stories.
rigmarole here. You've come full circle.
Full circle in only 3 months.
Wow,
so.
you got over it fast.
Yeah,
I feel like
I just
got out of your system.
Yeah, got out of my system.
Yeah. Well,
not
that's good.
Not saying. I mean, depends what happens with Heath and I. Not saying that I'm not going to continue dating or whatever or hooking up.
But as of now, you've deleted all the apps.
Yeah. Yep.
You're not talking to anybody else. Only Heath.
There's like 2 guys that like we're not like texting like every day.
Yeah.
But the one guy who I went on a date with, who was like very sweet, but he lives like an hour and 20 minutes away. Okay. Not the one that I hooked up with, a different guy. But he's also like 42. So like we're not in the. I was gonna say like we're not like in the same place. I mean, in a sense, like he just bought at like a 6-bedroom house, like, and again, he lives an hour and 20 minutes away.
Single dude?
He is single, yes, but lives with his sister. So he's 42. His sister's 30. They're currently living together, and they bought this house together.
Are they planning on like opening a brothel? Why'd they buy a 6-bedroom house?
Yeah, do you think that's weird too?
Yes,
I don't know.
I do. I think it's bizarre. Something's going on there. We'll talk about that another time.
Okay. But yeah.
So, all right. So I wish you and Heath the best. You're going to get married and have babies, and you're doing the opposite of what you said you were going to do.
I know. Full circle.
Wow. I was not expecting that ending.
Yeah.
So I guess
M. Night Shyamalan, y'all.
You did. You really did. Wow. Okay. Well, maybe we'll get an update. Yeah. Maybe we won't.
Maybe
Maybe you and Heath will be kaputs. And you'll be Tindering it up again.
Yeah, and I'll be
with
back.
ENFMFers.
ENMFers.
Whatever they are.
Yep.
You'll get more stories with the married couples. Or not.
To be continued.
So, what I like to ask everybody is, what would you tell your younger self about love and relationships? If you could go back to your 21-year-old self, what would you say?
Wow, I don't know why.
It's making you emotional? Oh my God, why? Oh my God.
Pregnant me, period.
Oh, okay, we'll blame it on that. On that. You're making me cry.
What do I want to say? Like, well, not crying. I'd probably say, like, to not, like, don't settle. You know, like, you're worth it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people would say the same thing. I think that oftentimes, especially with women, you're looking for love, you want companionship, and sometimes it's just whoever's there and who's ever convenient.
Right.
And shows you a little bit of attention. And instead of grabbing onto that and not letting go, you would tell yourself, like, don't do it, you know?
Right.
Because you feel like you just settled too much, right?
Yep. Yeah. Don't settle.
Yeah. Ever. No matter what age you are.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care if you're 50 and you still haven't met someone, you know?
That's the thing, too. Like, you know, I want to grow old with someone. And I'm not saying, you know, like, I'm not saying that I'm gonna, you know, settle down with Heath if I'm not, you know, 100% or whatever. But, I mean, I do want that, you know? I'm not all about, like, you know, like getting married right away, but I do want... I'm 35, and I know 35 isn't, like, old by any means, you know what I mean? But I do want
but
someone,
if that's what you want, and maybe you going on this self-discovery tour, your hot girl summer, made you realize at the end of the day...
Right.
What you really wanted. And growing old with someone doesn't mean getting married tomorrow or in a year or even getting married at all.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we need to reshape what that looks like instead of the whole, you know, married, kids, this trajectory by a certain age or whatever. Just having a partner in life, you know, and I think most people want that.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, it's human nature.
Unless you have fancy folded towels and you're worried about somebody actually using them.
Right.
Yes. Exactly. Well, that's great advice for your younger self and for anybody. Don't freaking settle, guys. And if you feel even a little piece of you feels like you're settling, you have to listen to your gut.
Yep. Because
there's a reason we got it. And a woman's intuition is never wrong, guys. So don't settle. Until next time.
You're worth it.
That sounded cheesy.
That's what I said, though. Don't settle. You're worth it.
Oh,
put this together. You can just
are.
Just put don't settle.
You are, girlfriend. You know that, girl.
This ain't my podcast. You do you.
This ain't my, and we'll end it on that.
It ain't my fault.